Okay, video 3 on the MathJax Geek Week. So in videos 1 and 2, talked about MathJax being a JavaScript library. Talked about in video 2, talked about the JavaScript to get control of MathJax if you need to add equation numbers. Now I'm going to talk you through a little more complicated case of equation numbers. So if you are writing a really long HTML where you have 50 equations, it's very common that you would have that document broken into sections, and we will typically number our equations differently in the different sections. So let me see if I can come up with an example here. It's not doing it. Let's see if I can just net this. Okay, there we go. Yep. Let's go ahead and open that in a browser. Okay, so here's a more complicated one. So this is pretty long, and so it's got a lot of equations in it. It's not a very good version. Go back here. Sorry. It's be better if I knit to HTML. Okay. There we go. That's much better. Okay. So here we go. So here's our HTML, and you can see the sections are numbered. And when we go to different sections, you can see the numbering starts over. So it's renumbering based on the major section there. And that's a really common way that we will number equations in very large documents. You know, otherwise this would be like equation 87 here, and it'd be kind of crazy. Now getting MathJax to do that, it's non-trivial. Let me walk you through it. So if you ever need to do it, you've seen the basic idea. You know at least kind of what is involved. Okay, so let's go here. It's in MathJax 4. I've got this. Okay, so first thing that you're going to want to do is you set up your tags. This tag here is telling it to use the equation. Then you have to change the tag format, and you can find all of this part here. You can find this in the MathJax documentation, and this example is actually from the MathJax developers. And then so you can add on something here that it adds to the number, and you can see that it's called here MathJax config section. Now if you read this, you might think, oh great, MathJax kind of keeps track of the section number, and this is a variable that I have access to. No, you'd be wrong. That is not the case at all. So MathJax is a thing that you are creating. And how do you create that? You are creating that in this section here that is running when MathJax starts up. And I could have never come up with this code. I was able to find this in I guess it was an issue in the GitHub for MathJax. Somebody had asked, and the developers wrote the solution. So basically, this code here is creating this counter for you. And it's doing something else on top of that. It's creating a function called next section. And this part here called packages, it is necessary to be able to do this somehow. Anyhow, that's what you're looking for. You're searching all over the web. I can't imagine that ChatGPT could help you here. You just stumble across the solution, and basically that's going on. You just have to create this counter somehow. Okay, so great. So you got that counter, and so that's a start. Then the next thing that you have to do is you have to update that counter at each section. Yes, it's true. You have to put this in your code. So that means that every time you want that counter to update, you're going to have to run this bit of code right here. And that function is a LaTeX function, and that's how it's been defined. This thing called next section. I don't know why. Why is it called next section with a lower? Oh, here it's right here. Here's the definition. Yeah. So, yeah, I guess that in this is somehow something they've written. Maybe this thing called MathJax config section is something they've actually written here. Nope, no, here it is. Here it is. Here's where they define it right there. So yeah, you are defining it. You're defining it in this code. There's the name, and you're saying it's a counter, and then you're creating this thing that is going to run this function here called next section. So that's what's going on there. And here you've defined it right here. Okay, so that nasty bit of code, and then after each section you're going to run this, and it's put into a div that says display none, so it doesn't show up. Okay, so that's what you need to do. Now, if you're like me, you're also using this R Markdown to create PDFs, and now you've put something into your R Markdown that your PDF LaTeX is going to scream at you that you've used a function that's not declared, because now it doesn't know about that, and so you're going to have to add some this is a real pain. You're going to have add into your header something to define that, and define it to be nothing. So here's, where is it? Here it is. There it is. So you can see I created a new command. All right. Well, the end product though is very nice. You get this, and it works great. You only have to do it once. So if you lasted this far through the video, I'm really sorry for you, because you are only doing that because you've been suffering like I have trying to figure out how to do this. So good luck, and I hope this helps. The next video you'll see up at a little tab up at the top.